Hello, I'm Tracy Wallach. Welcome. In this video, I'll be talking about listening posts. Listening posts take a systems psychodynamic approach to understanding society at large. I'll start this presentation with an overview of the origins of the model before getting into the methods. Listening posts were developed by Opus, an independent, non-political NGO founded in 1975 by Sir Charles Goodeve. Goodeve wanted to take a more scientific approach to relations in the workplace. He believed, after observing many strikes and disputes in commercial and industrial arenas, that employees would be less likely to strike if they understood some of the underlying forces at work, and would be more likely to think about how they, in their employee roles, were getting caught up in wider organizational and systemic processes. Goodeve was able to secure funding from a number of corporations in this endeavor. He was supported and encouraged by Eric Miller of the Tavistock Institute of Human Relations, who then served as a policy advisor and research advisor at Opus. He was interested in exploring conflict as an aspect of societal dynamics. The idea of the listening post was introduced by Miller, who wanted to encourage employees to take up the role of citizen of the organization. The mission of Opus was to study and promote a better understanding of society, how it works, and how individuals relate to it, with an emphasis on conflict. The focus was to help individuals act with authority and responsibility in their role as citizens. It provided education and training as well as offered consultancy to organizations and dissemination of research. In the same way that individuals and groups project on each other, so may they project onto society, so that parts of society become unconscious projective receptacles. Similarly, we project aspects of ourselves and our society onto other countries around the world. By inviting individuals to take up roles as citizens, it was possible to evoke, experience, and observe societal dynamics in a group of 10 to 12 people. Society is present in the group. Society and the group are present in the individual. Since 2000, listening posts are convened quarterly in London and less regularly in other locations throughout the UK. Since 2004, Opus has coordinated the International Listening Post Project, where LPs are conducted in different countries throughout the world at more or less the same time. The aim is to provide a snapshot of societal dynamics in each country at the beginning of a specific year. The idea is that the listening post is a microcosm of larger society, that a group of people meeting together to study the behavior of the society as a society allows the unconscious expression of some characteristics of the wider social system. The purpose of listening posts is to enable participants as individual citizens to reflect on their own relatedness to society and to try to develop an understanding of what is happening in society at any given moment. So what does a listening post look like? Typically, it will be convened with 8 to 15 people for 2.5 hours, and normally that's face-to-face. However, during the COVID pandemic, a number of larger-scale listening posts were convened remotely with international participants. The first hour provides participants with the opportunity to share their current preoccupations and experiences from their various social roles, whether they be at work, unemployed, or retired, or as members of religious, political, neighborhood, voluntary, or leisure organizations, or as members of families or communities. This period is unstructured, and there's no other agenda for the first hour. The next 30 minutes is spent trying to identify the major themes discussed. Finally, the group engages in analysis and hypothesis formation. The role of the convener is to go over the agenda and explain the purpose and process of the meeting, including outlining their own role as manager of the listening post and the role of members. They provide an explanation of each part of the event and send out a final report to participants when the event is over. The convener role varies somewhat in each of the different parts of the meeting. During the sharing of preoccupations, for example, the convener acts to hold the time boundary, but also participates in their role as citizen. They take extensive notes during this part. During the second part of the process, the convener helps participants to identify major themes that were discussed. Depending on the size of the group, they may ask members as singles, pairs, or trios to identify 3 or 4 major themes. The convener facilitates the discussion of major themes and takes notes for the group. In the final part, the convener works with participants to collectively identify the underlying conscious and unconscious dynamics that are predominant in the group, and to hypothesize about what might be occurring at this time. What does the individual or group behavior represent for society as a whole? Together, the convener and the group attempt to analyze the material from the meeting and develop theories or hypotheses of social and psychological forces that may impact what is happening individually and in society. The hypothesis may be structured as follows. Because of A, whatever that may be, members of society do B, whatever that may be, resulting in C. To learn more about listening posts, please see the following references. If you enjoyed this video, please click the like button below and subscribe. Thanks.